Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Sagittarius in November 2019. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, Sagittarius, welcome to November. Right off the bat, happy birthday for those Sagittariuses that will be celebrating at the end of this month. I hope you guys have an amazing birthday. And of course, a pre or kind of early birthday message also for those who will celebrate later in December, where the bulk of the days fall for Sagittarius. Either way, guys, I hope you have an amazing time spent with friends and family. If there's cake and ice cream, you kind of know the deal. Or maybe you don't. I love cake and ice cream, so if you've got some, have some for me, because it's my favorite dessert. Anyway, and also happy Thanksgiving for those who are here in the States who might be celebrating at the end of the month as well. Maybe your birthday falls on Thanksgiving, 2 for 1, huh? You guys in Capricorns, like those who are born like on Thanksgiving, and for Capricorns that are born on Christmas, like that must be like such a such an annoying part of your life, because I know some people like to lump like two things into one, or overlook someone's birthday and kind of focus more on the holiday. So apologies to you guys if some of you guys have that struggle who might be born on Thanksgiving Day. But anyway, again, happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating here in the States or anywhere in the world. I hope you're having a safe and happy time with your friends and family on that day as well. Okay? All right, Sag, let's get into it. I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. The timestamp for that will be in the description box in case you want to jump ahead. It's a free world. Go ahead and do it. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have any questions before you place an order, feel free to email me at the same address and I will answer you as soon as I can. And of course, guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do. Keeps the channel in circulation, keeps me growing as a content creator here on YouTube, as a reader on YouTube. And I am just loving all the positive feedback that I'm getting for the work I'm doing. So if you want to share some of that positivity with me, feel free to do so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I almost forgot. During Thanksgiving week, I will go live here on the channel for the entire collective for anybody who shows up in the reading. That's just to give thanks back because, again, like I said, I've enjoyed immense growth here over the past couple of months. I've enjoyed meeting new clients and connecting with new people. And so it's really just been an amazing time for me. And I just want to give back before, you know, the year is out. I should give you guys something a little more like interactive, okay? Not just for birthday seasons, which yours will be coming up, so I'll do all that information at the end. So enough yibber yabber, jibber jabber, blah blah blah. Let's get into it. Please show me Sagittarius's outcome for November 2019. Sagittarius's outcome for November 2019, please show me. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Boo. Now, before I start, I want to mention two things to those who are here still with me in the opening message, right? I did your meditation, and normally my meditations for every sign, I speak aloud. For Leo, I had a silent one. For you, I had a silent one as well, and it feels really deep. I feel really swollen with energy, whether it's positive or negative, I don't know, but I just wanted to note that. And I also wanted to note that, like many signs that I've read for this month so far, all of your cards came face up, Sagittarius. It's a Mercury retrograde, so what I'm feeling is that this is about, for you, revelation. All these cards came out up front revealing something to you, so that if you kind of already know a little bit about tarot, you might see something here that I might not touch on. And being that it's Mercury retrograde, a lot of times with a Mercury retrograde, we do get big reveals, or something comes out of nowhere to us, or comes from the past towards us and sort of drops a bomb on us. So that might apply here. We'll see. I don't really know. But let's get into it, okay? All right. Please show me where Sagittarius is in November 2019. Please show me where Sagittarius is in November 2019. Please show me. Is that right? Yes, thank you. All right, guys. Coming in to November, you come in with the Strength card. Congratulations. I don't know why I'm saying that. I guess it'll be revealed to me, but that was the first thing that popped into my head. Congratulations! Major Arcana for Leo, so there might be a Leo in your life of significance, but it does not have to be. Strength card, congratulations. What's that all about? Okay, congratulations. You might be getting over something, because a lot of times when we see this card, we see the woman, the maiden. She's also sometimes referred to as the Empress, and in a lot of decks, yeah, we could say that maybe. So this person, this woman, and it doesn't have to be a woman, you don't have to be a woman to resonate with this message, but there's a conquering here. There's a quelling or a conquering of the beast, where you may have a very nasty side of you, Sagittarius, or there may have been an opportunity to become a nasty person, to be rude, to be vindictive, to be manipulative, to be overbearing, to be dramatic, or inflict some type of damage in a situation. Like, they're showing me two things, like emotional damage and like physical damage. Like, they're showing me someone like take a golf club to a car. So some of you may have had the urge to really be physically violent towards, you know, inanimate objects or other people, or emotional, verbal damage. So I'm seeing arguments. I'm seeing, if I'm honest, I'm seeing stock photos of, you know, that they show you at like a HR training. You know, verbal harassment is not allowed in our company, and they show somebody like pointing their finger and their mouth is all open, all wide, like they're yelling at somebody. So that's what they're showing me, and it feels like there's a restraint from that behavior. I feel maybe you were in a situation or dealing with people that could have tried to manipulate you or invoke that feeling out of you. Like, it feels like a trap. Like someone tried to trap you in blowing your top, in losing your patience, in losing your cool, or vice versa. You know, it's a general reading. It could go the either. Oh my God, it could go the other way, because, you know, it's a general. So Sagittarius, you could have done that to someone and they have restrained themselves from you. I keep saying this word restrain. So this could be about a restraining order, but I think that would be in like a very rare case, or one, you know, just like maybe a handful of people out of maybe potentially hundreds or thousands of you. It depends. Also, they're giving me like the Leo archetype or quality of pride, and what often is associated with Leos is being prideful or egotistic. And I'm feeling that someone's pride was put in check. You know, someone's pride had to be sort of put on the shelf, put on the sideline. You know, you can't, you know, the principle of the matter might have been for you, Sagittarius, like, that person is wrong, I'm in the right, they're acting out of order, I'm completely within my right, therefore the principle says I can behave this way. But like I said, restraint. There's something here, and the pride thing to me kind of spreads over to the other fire signs as well. So that's you, Sagittarius, and that's Aries as well. All the qualities that each of the different elements have, they share it with their brother or sister signs, right? So if Leo has a reputation for being egotistical and prideful, Aries has a little bit too, and Sagittarius has it a little bit too. If Sagittarius has a reputation for being kind of freewheeling and kind of always looking for the next best thing, looking for an adventure in life, Leo and Aries have it as well, but to a lesser degree. Do you understand? So that's why I think this pride thing for you is coming out strong. Someone has poked at your ego or agitated your pride, or you felt compelled to act to protect your pride. Oh, pick it back up. There they go. What did I just say? To protect your pride. So for some of you, that is about what you feel within yourself. That is that personality trait of yourself. You're protecting your own pride. Another way that you can use pride is to mean family, is to mean specifically family and even children, right? So I feel as though for a lesser amount of Sagittariuses who might be parents or who might have close ties to certain family members, you may have had to restrain yourself, hold yourself back from something, hold yourself back from a situation or a person or an event, whatever it is. There is like a hair in my eye and I can't get it out, which sounds gross. But anyway, it's like in my line of sight and it's bothering me. Moving on. You had to pull yourself back away from something, a person, an event, reacting to something, responding to something in order to protect your family, in order to protect your home base, okay? Yeah, that makes sense because Leo is 5th house and 5th house incorporates children or childhood or youth, I guess, youthfulness, yeah? So that's interesting. That's kind of, I feel that's an interesting place for many Sagittariuses to be because I think it has come to the forefront of your mind, that whole holding yourself back, guarding yourself, guarding what means something to you, guarding people that mean something to you, restraining your reaction, restraining your instinct to maybe fight back or to maybe get involved in some type of drama. That is like, you consciously decided to do that. Like you really thought better of it. This was like a moment where you were like, let me take a step back. Let me count to 10, cool off, because I don't want to have to make a bigger mess out of something. That's what that feels like. And that's a learning thing, right? Yes. Yes. Perfect. Which one? Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Okay. Oh. That, for 2 seconds, I was like, yes, that's a good learning experience. But now I'm seeing something else. Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. This is going to take a bit of a turn, I think. Yeah? Oh. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Yes, I think. I'm not 100% sure because I told you this was going to be damn well deep. Listen, Sagittarius. Remember, for those who missed it, I mentioned at the top that I did a silent meditation on this energy, and I only did another silent one this month for Leo. I don't usually do silent meditations. I usually speak aloud, what my intention is for the reading, all that kind of stuff. This was silent. And there's something about, yes, keeping your mouth shut. Okay. So as much as I feel that is good for you, this strength card, everything that I mentioned there, I feel for some of you, you don't want to do that. And you have reluctantly agreed to do that. Maybe because of manipulation. Maybe. We'll get to it. Now, Queen of Cups, above your starting position. Water sign, energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You might be dealing with one of those signs, but you don't have to be. This might be a person of importance to you, a motherly figure, or matronly behavior that you're taking into yourself, male or female, it doesn't matter. This is a very careful, okay. What am I doing with my teeth here? What is that? Is this like a nervous tick that some of you have? Do some of you like click your teeth? Maybe when you're nervous, or maybe you grind your teeth when you sleep. But there's something about the jaw, and it's like, what is this? Like, I would want to speak, but I can't. Okay. Goddamn. This is very thick. I don't like it. Why do I say that? Because it's a general, guys. So I'm feeling some of you made the right decision with everything that I mentioned in the strength card, and restraining yourself is good. For others of you, you're restraining yourself because someone else told you to do that, and you don't want to do that. So it's, So let's continue with the first group where it was a good thing. You restrained yourself because you care about something, or you care about a person, or you care about a situation, or you're taking careful consideration of yourself. You know, the Queen of Cups is a nurturing energy. The Queen of Cups is a person or an energy that wishes the best for everybody involved and wants safety and security for everybody, but from a loving, emotional standpoint. So this is probably less to do with your physical or financial stability or security. It's more to do with your emotional security, Sagittarius. It's about feeling good, not every day, like, you know, springing up out of bed like today's the best day of my life. It's not about that type of optimism. It's really about waking up and not feeling doom and gloom the moment you open your eyes. It's looking at your surroundings and being satisfied or feeling enveloped and feeling safe and secure with everything that goes on in your life from an emotional standpoint. So even if you live in a, no offense to anybody, even if you live in like sort of like a hovel or like a really bad neighborhood or a bad city or not a bad city, but a bad part of the city, something like that. And even if you wake up in the morning and you look outside and, you know, there's a graffitied wall across the street and you've got homeless people down there, you've got trash, you know, on the ground. Even if your environment looks poor, it's about feeling that that is not a reflection of you. Like a lot of this particular energy here was being influenced by the environment and influenced by the people that they surround themselves with, maybe people with negative dispositions, maybe people with negative outlooks, and realizing that that is someone else's experience. You have a negative outlook, you know, friend or brother or sister or whoever, right? That's the way you view the world. My view of the world is not so desolate. It's not so despondent. I do have inspiration. I do feel, or I have reasons to celebrate in my life, and I have reasons to smile. It's like not crazily optimistic. It's kind of being a realist. This is where I live now. This is the state of my life right now. That doesn't mean for the next 20, 30, 50 years of my life, this is how it's going to be. So this Queen of Cups is for this group, a very self-nurturing energy, because she's really focused on that cup in her own hand. So that cup belongs to her, right? It's hers. She can give it away, she can share it with other people, or she can hold on to it for herself and treasure it. So this first group, I feel you're treasuring your emotional health. You're treasuring and investing in your emotional self. What do maybe less in an inspirational, you know, going out and conquering the world type way, but what do I want for myself in the future? Do I want to continue to, and that's, guys, you know, basic psychology. If you hang around people who have negative mindsets, who don't necessarily view their circumstances in the best of light, whether they have reason to or not, if you constantly surround yourself with people and energy like that, it will eventually infect you, like a virus, infect you, right? So this queen, this first group, you don't want to be infected by people's negative shit. You know, and you might love them, you might care for them or whatever, and you might have affinity for them. You might feel camaraderie with them. They could be your best friends. They could be childhood friends. They could be your family members. It doesn't matter. This queen is like, I can't continue down this road to be around people who affect me in this way, or who don't support my ideas, or who don't support me emotionally, who just want to say that life is crap. There's no hope for tomorrow, and we should all just give up on our dreams or give up on thinking and dreaming of a better life or striving to have a better life. So this is like getting away from that type of energy. Now, this other group, oh man, that all still applies. But this second group is more susceptible to that negative vibe that other people bring. More so than negative, criticism. This second group is dealing with a person of particular interest, or a group of people, family, no matter what, family. For some of you, if it's one person, it could be like a friend or a coworker or something like that, or a partner. But the second group, I feel it's like a group of people, family members, friendship circles, that puppet master in a way. Like now I'm seeing like marionettes, yeah? Who criticize what you want, Sag. Who criticize your emotional well-being. Who criticize your emotional capacities. You might say, just as an example, you might pick up a new hobby. Say it's like model train building, something so random that I would doubt most of you ever would think of. But this is just an example. Model trains, right? If you're familiar with like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, it's like that little train set and, you know, whatever. You know what a damn model train is. Why am I trying to explain that? Anyway, and let's say you want to do that. Let's say you just like saw it, you saw a movie about it, or you watched a video of it, and you're like, I want to get into that. I want to try that. That might be cool. It might be something, you know, fun to do, like a little hobby. And your husband or your wife, your best friend, your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, whoever is just like, what are you doing? And you're like, I want to build model trains. I think it would be neat. I think it would be fun. It's something to do on Sunday afternoons when I'm not doing anything. Well, instead of building model trains, you should be like volunteering down at the church. You know, like harsh. Or you're an adult. Why are you playing with toys? Why are you hating? There's like something where this Queen of Cups, you Sagittarius, wants to get along with these people. They're your family. They're your friends. You love them. You care for them. You have bonds with them. You have history with them, right? This isn't some new person in your life who is coming in and influencing you. This is like a long-standing connection you have with people. And every time you express an interest in something, they shoot it down. Every time you say, I have an affinity for XYZ, they say, why would you care about that? Why would you be interested in that? You're this type of person. Women don't do that. Men don't do this. People your age don't do that. People from our culture, our ethnicity, our race, we don't do that kind of stuff. To be, you know, no, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, but there's something where they see reason to limit you when what you are interested in is not really harming anyone, or if it is harming anybody, that's your decision to make because you're a fucking adult and you could do that. And not harming, like, you know, breaking somebody's arm or something, but like it might put people off. Like if you literally wanted to build model trains, right? And you say to your husband or your wife or whoever you live with, all right, I want to take a section of the basement and dedicate it to building a model train. That doesn't hurt someone, but it inconveniences someone. Like, okay, so now we have to rearrange everything that's in the basement because you want to drag this huge train set down here and start to construct it. Like your husband or your wife is just like, what? Like, we don't have the space for that. What about the kids this? What about this? What about that? Everything has to be arranged. Like what you want inconveniences them. Doesn't hurt them, but it kind of annoys them. So you're kind of like, oh, okay, never mind. It's just like, no, why? So that's like a very arbitrary, very light example. I feel it could go deeper. Like it could go deeper to maybe some of you are like, I want to go back to school and finish my degree. And someone says, why would you do that? You've got 3 kids at home. You don't have time to go to school. And it's just like, I will get a sitter. This person over here said that they would take care of the kids on the nights that I have class. I do have a spouse. They can help raise the kids too. And I feel like this is actually like heavily like a motherly energy, not necessarily your mother or a female, but just like someone who nags, somebody who has that. God, it's like this energy feels like I have experience with you. I know you at your worst, Sagittarius. That's why it feels like a mother. Like I know, like I raised you, therefore I know what you're capable of. And that kind of is annoying. Like I'm reading it as annoying because it treats you like a child. This person, this energy, the way it comes across, it treats you like a child. Even though you're a goddamn adult. Even though you're 30 something years old, even though you're 20 or 40 something years old, you have not been a child in several decades. Yet this energy is just like, well, what do you think you're doing? Why are you doing that? You don't have time for that. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, no. So, and that's the other thing. In the example of going to school, to better yourself, to advance yourself, to obtain something, to finish a degree that you didn't finish. This person wants to discourage you from finishing something that you at one point wanted to do, that you wanted to complete. What is that? What harm has it ever created someone to finish a degree other than financial burden and debt? Right? Because that's the reality of education in the States, at least. You know, you might risk financial ruin or financial burden for several years, but it enriches you, opens many doors in terms of the work world for you, So who the fuck would want to discourage you from doing that? So here you are listening to, some of you, listening to this person's criticisms and concerns, and you pull back. Where you wanted to rush towards building those model trains, rush towards, signing up for classes come spring 2020 or fall 2020, whatever. And now you're like you're second guessing yourself. You pull yourself back. This person, because they're here too, or it's okay, they're like, nope, separate. So it could be the same person, but they're like separate. There's a manipulation for the second group. That is quite unfortunate. Because I don't know how or why these people have a lot of influence over you, or they think they do. Even if they don't, even if you feel very confident, even if you are living independently, these people consistently poke at you, nag at you, interject into your life. And it's just like, what does that help? That's not constructive communication between two adults. It's just not. Moving on. Yeah, that's what you want. And that, okay. They're shutting me up. They're shutting me down so many times here. Because I think I know what this is. And then they're like, but also. And I'm like, okay. So I think we're here. Yes, thank you. The Hermit. Major Arcana for Virgo. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. Now this is going twofold. The second part is going to be the whammy. So let's just go ahead with the nice part first, huh? This Hermit card traditionally works as a guide, works as an indicator, works as a flashing light for the individual, for the querent, for you, Sagittarius, right? So the Hermit speaks to and highlights and puts you on track to discover deep wounds, deep disturbances, deep issues that have been buried, that have been ignored, that have been repressed, that need fixing or need some type of healing work or need to be exposed. Remember I said at the top, all your cards came out. This is Mercury retrograde. This could be the time, and this is the time for some of you to bring up these old issues and get to work to healing them, get to work to trying to fix them, get to work to trying to, in some cases, eradicate them. Now, what do I mean? Fix wounds, heal wounds, eradicate them. I'm not trying to say you need to destroy anything like physically. What I'm saying is, if this is a behavior of you, Sagittarius, some of you, if your behavior has been to sort of have a melancholy look at life, some of you, or have a melancholy look at one particular aspect of your life, right? It's now time to understand where that comes from, why it exists in your life, why it has persisted in your life, and let's get to working on how to fix it. So that's where I get back to that first group where others around you might have this negative disposition. They have a negative outlook on life. And you suddenly realize that is infecting me. Remember, I said it's like a virus. It infects me. It influences me. And I don't want to be influenced that way because my natural disposition, I'm speaking as if I were you, Sagittarius, my natural disposition is to be more optimistic. Not crazy optimistic, waking up out of bed, smile from ear to ear every day. No. I'm optimistic, but I'm also practical. I'm also measured. You can't go on either extreme. You can't be super pessimistic and you can't be super optimistic. You kind of want to straddle that middle vibe or energy point or something like that. Be in the middle, right? So, I'm getting this whole idea of someone around you in this first group or people around you. And I'm feeling this is more of like a younger energy. So I'm feeling like for this first group, this might be people who are in their 20s, who might be watching my channel, and you might be around people who are in their 20s and they don't have a lot going for them in their lives, right? They might live at home, or they might not have a job, or they might have 2 part-time jobs and they don't really have any money. They blow their paychecks on clothes and shoes, or they're buying all the latest video games and they're just not savvy, and that's just what they're gonna be, right? And they kind of, not that they say this is all I'm gonna be, but they feel comfortable in this lane. And you, Sagittarius, not to bring it down to money, but you want more for your life. You want more pliability flexibility in your life. Because when you work 2 part-time jobs, working in service or retail or doing whatever, you don't have flexibility. You probably don't have benefits. I'm not trying to shit on anybody here. I'm just speaking what I generally know. You probably don't have benefits. You probably don't have any type of vacation time. You probably are not an integral part of the workforce. So you are at will employment. They can fire you at any moment. And you're just like, no, I don't want that for me. I don't want that just because that's what people from our neighborhood or that's what people from this side of town are known to do or known to be. I want to be more than that. Yeah. So this hermit for the first group has revealed that to you. And that's just an example. It doesn't have to be around work or the future of your work or career life. This could be around your family dynamics. This could be about your personal relationships with people. This could be about something within your own behavior. Maybe you are that person and you're like, you know what I mean? Or maybe you're the person who is spending money frivolously. You know what I mean? And you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? So take it how it resonates, please. But the first group, I feel you're in a better place than the second group, because the second group is about to, again, get hit with a whammy here. First group, there's such a resolute, oh God, can't even talk, resolute energy here, because it's going to go 2 different ways. God, I see it. So you see how both are kind of orientated that way, right? To the left. On your screen, will it be left? I don't know. It's the left. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's to the left if I point it up here. So both are facing towards the left, right? And it feels like the hermit is shining a light on the strength card, like assisting her, like, hey, even though she's in daylight, but it's sort of like, here, let me assist you. Let me show you where your strength could be. Let me show you where your strengths are. Let me show you how to conquer your own demons or conquer your own beasts, conquer your own negative self-talk. Here's the way that you can begin to do this work of healing, of eradicating, right? That is helpful. Second group, you're going to get the same thing, but it's from another person. And this person is watching you. Here we go. Let me take a drink because I feel we're going to talk a little bit about him. Pardon me. So still with the second group, you come to certain realizations. You're recognizing certain historical behaviors within you, within other people around you, whatever. You see the wounds. You see the things that have been repressed. You see the things that have gone on and persisted over and over and over time, or over and over and over again, or however I'm supposed to say that. And you recognize it. But I feel as though someone is in your life and they are kind of dictating the way we address these issues, or the ways in which you're supposed to respond to these issues. Oh, fuck off. Because what they showed me was, and I've not seen it, but there have been at least, I feel like there was a semi-recent movie, whether it was like a made-for-TV movie or like an HBO special or something like that, or maybe there was an HBO documentary of this mother. This is so specific, and I don't think it's any of your cases, but please, kind of see what they're trying to get me to pull out of this image, is this person, what's that called? Munchausen syndrome? Whatever. This mother raised a child, and she kept telling her child, you're sick, you're not well, you need medicine, you can't go outside, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Even though medically this child was fine or in some realm of healthiness or healthfulness, right? This mother, again with the mother figure for God's sakes, was in incredible control of the child. And I think that the daughter eventually grew up and killed her mom, so God forbid that's what you're dealing with. But, or even to take it to something more fictional, my stomach, oh my God, I'm digesting my breakfast. I hope you didn't hear that. Anyway, to take it to something fictional, for those who have seen it, the new It movie, right? The remake, there's one of the kids, isn't his name Eddie or whatever, the one with like the inhaler or whatever. His mom in that movie also is like telling him, you have asthma, you have this, you have that, and he became hypochondriac, right? It's something like that. This person dictates to you the ways in which you can be healthy, or they try to tell you, oh, the way that you're trying to fix the problem, Sagittarius, isn't going to fix it. Do it this way. My stomach, I hope you can't hear that. That's kind of loud. And I apologize if you did hear it. It's a personal thing, you know, digestion, but sometimes the human body. Anyway, so I feel that there's this card for the second group works in two ways. You are aware of something that is amiss, that something is awry in your life or awry in your relationships, but I feel that this person steps in to try to manipulate, influence how you choose or how you actually go about fixing the problem. So, okay, yep, mother-in-law. They keep showing me mothers and mother-in-law. Listen, for those that don't have mothers, well, everybody, well, to a certain degree, everybody has a mom. But if there's not a female figure or a motherly energy in your life of significance, you know, place it where it needs to be. If this is your uncle, but they act this way, perfect. It's that person. So the mother-in-law, or the motherly energy in your life. Basically, let's say you're married. Just as an example, if you're not married or if you're not dating anybody, it's okay. But just as an example, let's say you're married and you're having issues in, issues in your marriage. And Sagittarius, you might say, I want to go to couples therapy. I want to explore that for me and my wife, or me and my husband, whoever. Your mother or mother-in-law steps in, or whoever that person is, they step in and say, well, why would you pay a doctor to do that? Well, you don't need to go to therapy for that. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of money. No. Just, you know, some of them encourage you, no, just meet with the pastor, meet with the reverend, meet with the rabbi, or come to me, or talk to Aunt Joni, or, you know, just like, and encourages you to do anything and everything other than what you want to do. You know, Sagittarius, in your mind, you're like, I really think therapy would work for us. I really have been reading up, you know, you even like researched a particular doctor in your area, and you're like, this person, I think their method would be great for me and my husband, or me and my wife, or whoever. And I just want to go that route. And this person steps in, no, save your money. And oh, why would you talk to a stranger when you could talk to me? Don't you trust me? Don't you trust this person? It's just like anything and everything but what you truly want to do. Anything and everything than the solution that you have thought of on your own is what this person wants you to do. Anything and everything. And the reason? Because it allows them to control you. It allows them to continue to manipulate you. It sows the seed of self-doubt in you. Because you think, some of you might think, yeah, well, why would I want to talk to a stranger? Or, yeah, you know, maybe, you know, $200 a session is a lot. And if we did it like, you know, once every week, like that's a lot of money to spend just to talk to someone for about an hour, you know, and he's already reluctant to do the therapy. So yeah, maybe it's not a good idea. Like this person has very strong influence over you. And that's what you need to realize. That's the revelation. It's not the issue. I mean, well, maybe the issue, the core issue in your just as in this example, in your marriage, that is important. Do not ignore that. Jesus, slamming the door around here. Anyway, that is still an issue, but there's a second issue or a subset in the issue that someone tries to interject or influence your behavior within that initial area that needs work. Within your own marriage, which is supposed to be between two people, right? Me and my husband, me and my wife, we're the ones who have to work this out. But then everybody, you know, everybody around this place has an opinion on what we do, but it's our relationship. It belongs to the two of us, not, you know, his mother, my mother, his father, my father. No, it's our shit. So there's a deeper issue, like I said, or a subset, or even a sub-level to the issue of family interjection. Problem with that. Last card here, because this is a bunch of bullshit over here. I can tell it already. Ace of Pentacles. First group, this is a new opportunity that you're seeking for yourself. The first group is a lot more independent. Like, if I'm honest, it feels like the first group is mostly single people and the second group is mostly people in relationships, whether that be romantic relationships or marriages, or whether that be in partnerships or close relations with family members and friends. This first group is a lot more independent, a lot more single-minded, a lot easier, quote unquote, easier for them to navigate what they want versus what other people want or are saying is optimal in a situation, right? So first group, this is an opportunity that, considering that I feel, Sagittarius, you're in the Strength card mostly, and you're also in the Queen of Cups as well. I feel that with these two positions, this, for the first group, is right sort of behind you. It's in proximity to you, this opportunity, right? So again, for that first group where you might work part-time jobs or you don't have a lot of security, or, you know, the friends that you have, the people that you surround yourself are in similar situations, if this is about finances or job, there's an opportunity for something a little bit more stable, very much near you. So I don't know where you live, but where I live, municipalities, working for the city, working for the county, those are stable jobs. They're not lucrative jobs, but they're stable. You know you're going to get benefits because you're a government employee or you're an employee of the city, right? It might not be the most glamorous job or the most comfortable job you can do, but there's plenty of employment within the municipality, right? So that's something to consider if you're working retail or service or part-time or doing whatever, right? So it's, again, in your physical proximity, because pentacles are about physicality, things that we can touch with our hands, right? Things that we can perceive with our senses, yeah? If it's not that, it could be an opportunity, maybe, again, kind of bleeding into that second group, but could apply to the first group, because I did say the first group feels kind of young. Could be an opportunity for school or some type of education program, something about certification. You know, again, where I live, a lot of people who are working those retail jobs, they eventually flip that and they go to nursing. You know, that's a lot of school, it takes a lot of dedication, might take some money. But again, the healthcare field is constantly booming. Unless we have some huge upheaval to our healthcare system here in the States, that shit is always hiring, okay? So there's something about opportunities in finances or excuse me, in careers or education that is in your proximity. So look at local programs. Look at, you know, maybe there's something, if you're like a working single mom or working single dad in some cases, right? There might be chances for you to be given scholarships or given not preferential, but given certain discounted tuition if you go to like your local community colleges first, something like that. And it's near you. I don't think you've turned your back to it, because that's what it's showing. You know, again, the Queen of Cups is looking this way. The Pentacles is coming in from behind her. So I don't know that you've turned your back on it. Maybe some of you have thought, maybe I could, but maybe I can't. And you're kind of like unsure of how to actually go about it. In this first group, the opportunity, you have to seize it. It's not going to come knocking on your door saying, hey, Sagittarius, it's me, your golden opportunity. It's not going to do that. You have to be proactive about it. And that's the thing about the Queen of Cups in both groups. The Queen of Cups can be too reflective, can sit on her ass for too long and just think or analyze a situation or feel her feelings. Like, she spends a lot of time feeling her feelings. So this queen is not lazy, but she could snooze on an opportunity. So be careful of that, first group. Second group. I mentioned that thing about money and the whole, why would you spend all that money on therapy? Something about money in your one-on-one relationship with your partner, your spouse, whoever, or your close relationship with family members if you're solo dolo. And that's the thing, you could have been solo and say, I want to go to therapy for myself. I want to understand my childhood woundings, or I want to understand how come I can't keep a partner, or how come I've never had a partner. You could be, you know, in your 30s or 40s and you've never dated anybody significantly, or you've never sustained a relationship for too long. And you're like, how come I can't keep a man? How come I can't keep a woman? And you say this to your mom, I think I want to go to therapy and discuss this. And they're like, what would you go tell a therapist for? You have no reason to tell a therapist about that business. That is personal home life business. Don't tell that, you know, that thing. could also still be hooked on money. Even though it's the real criticism there is, don't tell your therapist about me and the way I've raised you. I've raised you perfectly. I've raised you without flaw. Why would you criticize my mothering skills or my parenting skills, my fathering skills, right? That's really the deeper context of that criticism. But it might come up with, well, why would you spend your money like that? You should be saving your money, Sagittarius. What do you mean? Well, why are you worried about those things? You're beautiful. You know, it's just like, why are you? So anyway, money's there. There's this interest in saving face. And again, in the second group, I feel that you might be in your feels so much that you sleep on the chance. Now, in the second group, this opportunity is much more constructive. You have to put in much more work. Well, maybe not much more work. Let me rethink how I can say that. It's not a matter of filling out applications. It's not a matter of, contacting a financial aid officer or anything like that. This is about fundamental change that you want to your life that is going to require some type of restructure. So again, if it's about building model trains, I gotta clean out part of the basement or clean out part of the garage so that my hobby can be sustained and that I can have a nice little space for it in my house. That requires physical reconstruction or reconfiguring of things in your home, right? If this is about going to couples therapy, right? I'm going to have to, or my partner and I, we're going to have to come up with a new schedule. He works these hours, I work these hours. What works best for us and the therapist to meet up at least once a week or once every 2 weeks or some shit like that. That restructures time, which is also a part of Pentacles, right? Then if it is about going to school or even doing the financial investment for the hobby or for therapy, where are we going to get this money from? Is this covered by our insurance, or are we paying out of pocket for this therapy stuff? If I'm going to be building these model trains, how much does it cost to get started? How much does it cost to keep up on that kind of thing, So there are those concerns, but you have to kind of be more proactive and sort of get in there with a plan and get in there with an ironclad plan. The issue is this person, this hermit, not that they have control over if the offer comes to you or if the opportunity comes to you, but it's like they have you on a leash. They have you on a lead line, right? So the moment you go walking towards, I'm going to go make this appointment, and you reach out to like grab your laptop, they leash you back. I thought we said that you were going to not do that. And you're like, I never said I wasn't going to not do that. You said that I should think about it, and I thought about it, and I think I should do therapy. Well, wait, before you make the appointment, it's like they keep yanking on your leash to pull you away. This is very complex. I'm not as angry as I have been, and it's not me I'm angry. The energy is not angry. There was angry energy in Scorpio's reading. There was angry energy, I think, in Leo's reading. Your energy is, at least in these 4 cards, we're about to see what happens in the 3. I think it's more like quiet revelations. Like you're beginning to understand that this person's concern, quote unquote, for you is actually concern for themselves. Oh, remember what I said earlier with the Strength card about protecting the pride. It could be that. It could be this mother figure, mother-in-law, or uncle or brother who has a motherly instinct that treats you like a child, whatever. It's like this person basically. Okay, here's how I'm seeing it. What I'm seeing, and again, if it's not this exact scenario, swap the genders, swap every role around until it kind of is similar to your situation, especially if you resonate. Don't force it if it doesn't freaking work. But what they're showing me is a mother-in-law. They're showing me a mother of a husband, a mother of a son, that is talking to the daughter-in-law and saying to the daughter-in-law, why would you do this? It's going to affect him these ways. It's going to affect the kids these ways. Don't do this to them. Don't do this to them, aka don't do this to me. Don't make me look like a bad mother for raising a son that has caused these problems in your life, or you're not able to get along with, or you're not able to, whatever with. Because what I'm seeing is there's a little bit of a fracture, excuse me. And maybe not even little, but there's an issue between two married people, and the mother of the son, the mother of the husband, is like, I have to protect my son. I can't let him lose this. What? I don't know what that means. But there's this thing of, I have to protect my son, and in order to protect my son, I have to get her, my daughter-in-law, to do something a certain way so that he is happy, so that he doesn't lose this. Why do I understand. I'm not a mother. You guys know that story. I'm not a parent at all. But it's kind of like, what kind of crazy, like, stage mom, overbearing mother bullshit is that? If your child is old enough to be married and sustain a relationship and have children, because I do feel there might be children in some, like this, they keep doing this with my fingers. There's like some kids here, right? If your adult child has gone that far in their life, let them have it. Let them make up their own mind. Like, what is this? And then you're not even speaking to your child. You're talking to the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law or whatever it is. So the corrective action that this motherly energy is trying to incite is on the party that isn't her own child. It's like, God, I hate to keep it on gender lines or anything like that, or the stereotype of it, but it feels like the daughter has complaints about the son, and instead of criticizing the son, the mother criticizes the daughter-in-law. Well, maybe if you did this. Well, did you ever consider his feelings? What? Moving on, because I could see now it could get heated, and I'm restraining myself because I'm not going to rise to that. And maybe that's what some of you are doing. This person is trying to incite you, or that this person is saying things that could incite you, but you don't rise to it. Maybe. Now, where are we? Oh my God. Guys, if you've been with my channel before, you kind of know what's coming up, but if you're new here, I will explain it. You have here 2 cards in one position and makes a triangular shape, which I call the triplet. The triplet in my readings normally are showing a complementary story to what we discussed in the 4 cards, or they're showing a supplemental story. I don't know until I get into the energy, but let's go ahead and figure out what we have here. So we have a complementary story. Could be supplemental in some of your cases, and I feel it's probably mostly going to apply to the second group, because I see there's a group of, yeah, okay. This could have happened, or it's about to happen. Could be the calm before the storm, because remember I told you I meditated quietly. I told you about restraint, and I just told you I could have just risen. I could have just let my energy, the energy come out in an explosive way, but I pulled it back. I feel that maybe this has happened before, or it will happen soon. But you have the 5 of Swords in the top of the triplet. So 5 of Swords is about, doesn't always, but I feel that there is a potential for this to be explosive arguments. This could be very volatile or very high energy, lots of agitation, lots of anger, lots of frustration, disturbance in the force. Basically, there's a disturbance in the force. Like, that's what this feels like. 5 of Swords. You see one person holding 3 swords and 2 others in the back looking dismayed and dejected and defeated, right? So could be talking about severing certain ties, or putting up certain boundaries, or certain boundaries being crossed. Like, I'm feeling that. Like, if you're in a relationship, second group mostly, but it could apply to your first group if this is about your family or your friendship circles, or even people that you're dating, or the way that you date, or whatever. But if someone has put up boundaries recently, or if someone finally stood up for themselves or stood up for their relationship and said, listen mom, listen dad, listen whoever, this is our business, stay the fuck out. Don't interject yourself. Don't come over here, with criticisms. Don't come over here, laying your opinions on everybody. Just STFU, okay? And I'm saying it quite frivolently or very casually. I would hope that that conversation will come across more constructively, more adult-like, quote unquote, adult-like, right? So I feel that once that precedence is set, someone continues with the same behavior that got them there in the first place. So you tell your mom, you tell whoever, don't come over here and criticize what we're doing or how we're doing it. Don't criticize how we're raising the kids. Keep your opinions to yourself, please. Or if you have anything to say, make sure that you say it in a nice way, a constructive way, a way that doesn't lead to an argument. Maybe they play nice for a little bit. Maybe they're conscious of what they're doing for a while, but then out of nowhere, well, maybe not out of nowhere, but sort of maybe even predictably, they fall short again and they cross those boundaries. And here's what happens after you cross that boundary. We get into an argument. We get into a fight. We get into some type of heated discussion that could have certain repercussions because people are walking away here. People are walking away. I don't know that the walk away is forever. I don't know that the walk away is even significant, because the walk away could literally be, I need to take a step outside, get some air, right? It doesn't have to be, I'm moving out, or this person is, disinvited from Christmas. It doesn't have to be so drastic. It could literally be just, I gotta go clear my head, okay? But I do feel somebody, I don't know which person it's going to be in the argument, in the fight, but the person who's holding those three swords, they feel fine. They don't understand what went wrong. They don't understand what the fight's about. They're engaged in the fight. They're in the discussion. They're in the argument, but they don't know why. Like, again, I'm feeling like this motherly, mother-in-law, whatever person or energy, they don't understand how them caring and showing that they want the best in the situation is a bad thing. Would you prefer a mother who didn't care? That might be something they say. Well, do you want me not to care? Do you want me to not say anything? Should I just leave you alone forever? Like, it's dramatic. It's like, oh God, it's a manipulation. Ultimately, to have that as a reaction, do you want me not to care? As if to say all caring is good. Nurse Ratched was still a nurse. She was terrible at her job, but she was still a nurse. You see what I mean? You can be someone in the act of caring, in the act of nurturing, but be terrible at it. So this whole, do you want me not to care? The way that you do it, absolutely. The way that you come in here and criticize my home or criticize my family or criticize whatever, I don't need that shit. But I care. I don't give a fuck. See, gotta pull it back. Because the way in which you're caring for me, mom, or the way in which you're caring for me, mom-in-law, or whatever, it is not helpful. It's hurtful. So please stop doing that. I don't know any other way. Then we have a problem. Holding those three swords. I don't know any other way. This is how I've always been. I raised you this way. This is how I raised you. So just because I was raised this way and I made it to adulthood, that makes it okay? Do you understand that just because you raise a person to adulthood, and this is getting to a deeper criticism, no offense to anybody in the audience, of people of an older generation who, this is just what I know how to do, so it's fine. No. Slightly younger generations, people in my age and a little bit younger, we have grown up in a world that has taught us, just because you have created children, that you have given birth to children, that you have children in your household and you raise them, doesn't mean you're a good parent. You have to do more than just provide a home and food and clothes for your kids. There's also emotional and mental development and maturity that you have to nurture. And for people in my generation and a little bit younger, I can't get into the whole thing, but I think some of you know what I'm talking about, where you have baby boomers, essentially, having raised people my age and younger, who grew up with parents from the Depression era, right? Like, the emotional trauma from those two previous generations is now inherited in our generation. My generation and younger. I'm in my late 30s, right? So we have a lot of realizations that have come to us with, new age psychology and all the interest in self-healing and self-help, right? We're more aware of the emotional trauma that is a part of a lot of our experiences. So when we come to these revelations and we come to these truths, that's very shocking to our parents and our grandparents. What do you mean I needed to hug you more when you grew up? You were fed, weren't you? But I needed a hug. And that sounds kind of trivial. It might sound kind of fluffy. It might kind of sound, kind of pansy in some of your parents or grandparents' estimations or people of this generation. But that's a fact. That's a fact. Whether it sounds soft, whether it sounds as if it's too sensitive, and I don't know anything about that, or well, my father never told me he loved me, and I turned out fine. Did you though? Did you? Because look at me. You see what I mean? So someone is standing here ignorant to the fact that the way they behave in a situation is detrimental to the entire situation. And they overstep boundaries. They don't respect boundaries. They don't respect requests from their adult children. Again, emphasis on adult. If this is about your 17-year-old and they're still living in your house, maybe it's a little unsure, but if this is someone in their 30s or 40s and this is what's going on between you, you have to respect that that person is now an adult. More than they're your child. They're an individual adult. And they have their own sensibilities and needs. And if they say, please don't come and talk to me that way, it doesn't help me, it hurts me, and you continue to do it, that's a lose-lose situation. Right? Oh, the basis of this. The base of that 5 of Swords. Congratulations, Sagittarius. You have the longest reading. And I feel like Mercury retrograde brings out the triplets more than any other time. So that's always fun. So in the base of this, you have the Star card in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. Star card, Major Arcana for Aquarius, and King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. It does not matter in a general, just giving you the insight of what the tarot cards are associated with. Now, yeah, this is not the way you or anybody else probably really saw this situation going, saw this discussion going, saw these relationships within the family going, saw these relationships within the friendship circle going. This was not ideal. Star card in reverse. This was not ideal. This is not a blissful time to be living in or experiencing, right? Star card also talks about healing. Talks about I want to say like evolutionary issues, or how can I say this? Like spiritual evolution, right? Because, it's with Aquarius. So Aquarius can be quite spiritual, but it still has air sign qualities, which also makes it about rational and practical thought, right? So this could have been, or is, the base of it is, we need to have rational, the base of this is we need to have rational, practical, sensible care given to a healing process. But it's in reverse. So we don't have that. What we have is petty arguments. What we have is people arguing because of their pride or because of their ignorance. Again, these older generations, no shade, by the way. It's just a fact for many people's experience that people of a certain age are not able to necessarily alter their worldview or their perception of things. They have a lot more traditional values. They have a lot more traditional ways of communicating with people. And, even a little bit, even in my own family, if you're a person, like if I were to speak to, let's say, my aunt in a certain way that I'm speaking to you guys, that would be disrespect. You see what I mean? And for me, I don't view it as disrespectful. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to be real with you. And that's two different worldviews. That's two different perspectives. So that's what's going on here. We have pardon me. We have ideologies that are bumping up against each other and they're not meshing. It's not here, but I'm getting like Hierophant type vibes where one generation says this is the way it goes and the other generation says, but that doesn't work for me. I want to do something new. And the other generation goes, well, tough titties. And that's something my dear departed uncle always used to say to me, tough titties. And I hated it. and I still hate it, but I'm using it now to kind of bring levity to the reading for myself, but also to kind of show you, like, that is what this person is. Someone here, if not one person, more than one person, is very hard-headed and very stuck and staunch in how they see the world and how they see this situation, and they're not interested in editing themselves. They're not interested in, what did I say? Spiritual evolution. Spiritual evolution is indicative with the star card. You have to, well, you don't have to, but that's what it encourages. Spiritual evolution that leads to a greater sense of healing and peace and serenity in your life. And if you don't have people on board with that, they don't understand that, they don't comprehend that, they don't value that, then you're at an impasse with these people or that person. King of Swords in reverse. Yes, basically ornery, volatile, bitter, twisting of words, twisting of facts, a misinterpretation of words and facts, okay? The King of Swords, when he's in his reverse, he's like drunk with power, drunk on his own intellect. This person or this energy feels that the way they see the world, the way that they interpret things, the way that they understand, or the way that they communicate is the bee's knees, basically. And maybe not even the bee's knees. It's just they're made uncomfortable when they are challenged. Thank you. That's more the point. They're made uncomfortable when there are challenges put to their arguments, when there are challenges put to the things that they have presented in a discussion, in a conversation. Well, when you say this, it makes me feel like that. Therefore, blah, 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 blah. They're like, what? No, these are just words. Words don't create feelings. Like, they're that type of person. My words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Like, they're in that shit. What? I mean, anybody who, again, my age or a little bit older or younger, I think we're in that generation that realizes words have more impact than they sometimes appear to have. Yeah? And the King of Swords energy, person or people, don't believe that. Just because I said this doesn't mean you should feel that way. What? What kind of sense does that make? But to them, it makes perfect sense. You know why it makes perfect sense? Because it allows them to keep a certain level of power in the situation. It solidifies their place. If I can't be if you can't knock me off my square. That's what this energy is all about. I will not be removed from the table. You know how in certain discussions or like debates or like probably down at the UN, right? When certain countries or representatives for countries get like irate, they mute the mic. Like because you've overstepped or because you can't get on board with what we're discussing, you can just go ahead and leave the table, leave the room, leave the discussion. This person refuses to leave the discussion. Refuses to leave the discussion. Let's go ahead and finish this because, with that. Your outcome, Sagittarius, for November is the Magician in reverse. So, this could be good news. It could be bad news. And I don't take it as good news or bad news coming to you. I think it's good. It could be good or it could be bad. It could be good in the sense of, I feel that the Magician, when he's in the reverse, indicates manipulation. I mean, the name itself, Magician, invokes the ideas of tricks or trickery or illusions, right? When you go to see a magic show in Vegas, Penn and Teller, or whatever you're going to go see, does David Copperfield still do, David Blaine, whatever. You agree to be tricked. You agree to endure a night of people selling you bullshit. It's fun in games when you go see a magic show. In real life, when you have the Magician in the reverse, we see through the illusion. We see through the trickery. We're able to see that someone is trying their best to pull the wool over our eyes, and we're not hip to it, or we're not on board with that. We're hip to it, but we're not on board with that. So somebody gets called on their shit, and they don't like it. Because when you, especially like, imagine going to see a magic show, like a big magic show, like at a hall that's been sold out, and somebody stands up in the middle of the crowd and say, that trick is done by doing blah, 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 blah. And everybody in the audience hears it. For the magician, the person on stage, that cuts deep. How dare you? How dare you tell everybody else in this arena how I did this trick? You have ruined my career, or you've ruined the performance. right? Because when we go to a magic show, when we are in the presence of a magician, we are agreeing to be tricked. So I think you get what I'm saying here. Whoever's trying to manipulate, they're getting their shit blown up. They don't like it. You've ruined the image, or you've ruined the illusion. You've ruined the performance. How dare you? How dare you? You dare because it's your goddamn life, Sagittarius, and there's no reason for people to come along and try to manipulate a situation, especially if they are a peripheral player. If they're somebody on the outside of what is at the core or the nucleus of the situation. Again, if this is about two friends and then you've got a third friend or a family member coming in and criticizing that shit, or if this is about a marriage and you have the in-law or the uncle or the brother or this whoever coming in and criticizing and being integral, trying to manipulate this shit, trying to puppet master that, give me a break and get out. Okay? And then to be irate or to be offended that I call you on your mess, you're trying to manipulate the situation. The only reason you're saying that is because he's your son. Why? Sagittarius, I love you too. I love you like you're my daughter-in-law. I love you too. Yeah, but you're only doing this because he's your son. And you know, like you call a mother on that. You call the parent on that. You're only doing this because you're trying to protect your own child's feelings. You don't give a damn. You don't give a fuck about what I feel. This person becomes offended. Why would you say that to me? How could you say that to me? I said it. You're not denying it. You're just saying, how could I have said it? You're not denying it. You're not showing me evidence of the counter. So therefore, what are we talking about here? We're talking about you getting caught. We're talking about you being revealed as the magician, as a manipulator, as a trickster, and you don't like it. I blew your cover. Get over it, you know? So that's the good side of it. I think some of you are able to give this person the business. Not that it's good to give them the business, but you're letting them know, I'm not here for your bullshit. Now, it also becomes a problem, or is quote-unquote bad or not so positive, because the magician, when he's in the reverse, also is not a creator. Because when he's in the upright, when the magician is in the upright, he's a co-creator with the universe. As above, so below. He has all the tools for creation at his disposal: the pentacles, the swords, the cups, and the wands, right? He can manipulate for good when he's in the upright. In the reverse, this is like dead tracks. This is like, or a dead end, right? Is kind of what they're showing me. What they're showing me is a dead end on a train track. Or, you know, like at a train depot, there's like a big X or like a big wall that stops the trains from proceeding, right? That's what this looks like in my mind. So for you, Sagittarius, that could be bad, because you might have tried to elicit change this entire time. You may have tried to be proactive and productive in these discussions. You've tried to be productive in trying to get a new start for yourself, get into new opportunities, and you might come up to a certain blockage, or you might lose a little bit of, to keep with the train metaphor, a little bit of steam, right? You might lose your gumption. You might lose your vision of how to make what you have wanted to create for yourself, the new opportunities, the new connections, new adventures, you know, whatever you were trying to get off the ground, you might lose your inspiration for it. So that's how this could be quote unquote bad. But if you've stuck here the entire time, I hope you've gotten the vibe that, Sag, you can do whatever you want. It's only a matter of you have other people trying to come in there and yank on your leash and keep you held to their estimations, to what they want to see you do. What you want to see you do, you can do it. It will be trying. It will be difficult. And you might have to walk away from certain people, or certain people might eventually walk away from you. If that is not a terrible price to pay, you can create what you want. I already feel, God, Sag, you are quite independent. You're quite capable at creation. You're a perfect manifester. Well, I shouldn't say perfect, because nothing in the world is perfect, but you're a very good manifester. Yeah, excellent manifester. So if you have to walk a path kind of alone, if you have to walk away from people, if you have to dig deep into your feels, if you have to, you know, talk about some deep woundings that you may not want to talk about, or you may not want to really explore, that's the toll to create something new. Yeah. Overall energy, 5 of Cups. So this whole time, this is what we've been talking about. Emotional despondence, emotional dissatisfaction, feeling the loss of something, or feeling as if things are not coming into fruition for you. Now, I don't normally talk about it that much because I think it's kind of cliched, but in this case, notice the 2 cups behind the figure, right? 3 cups are on the ground, spilled over, crying over spilled milk. Oh, this is so bad, and my life is so horrible, or this didn't go the way I wanted to. And that all might be very true. I'm not trying to mock you with my tone per se. Not even per se, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mock you with my tone. What it is your perception or someone's perception. You know, this might not even be you. This could be the motherly figure who's like, I was trying to help and I didn't, blah, 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 blah. And they're like looking at what they've lost in the situation. Maybe they've lost contact for a while. Maybe, you know, you guys refuse to talk to them on the phone or something like that. But what they don't realize is that the 2 cups behind, in that situation, the connection between Sagittarius and the partner is still intact. Or the connection between Sagittarius and the children is still intact, even if the marriage is lost. Whatever is lost is sort of, again, the price that is paid in order for the 2 cups to remain. The connection between the 2 spouses or the 2 partners, the connection between one partner and the children and the other partner and the children, and those are 2 different connections, something like that. But at the core of the reading, this has been about people being either one person, no, more than one person, thank you. This has been about people having emotional dissatisfaction. And I feel that everyone in the situation is dissatisfied for a different reason. And to overcome that, everybody has to realize that sometimes you have to lose in order to gain. Or sometimes even though you've lost something, you haven't lost it all. Yeah? Sagittarius, that's your reading for November. Oh my God, it's been forever. It's a long reading. If you're still here, hi. Feel free to like the video, leave a comment below. Let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read that stuff. You guys know I'm into to understanding your stories. You could also share the video, let other people know that you like my content, and subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. Sag, I will be back shortly, probably in about 2 weeks or so, maybe a week and a half, doing your mid-Novembers. And then, of course, I'll do your birthday readings, I believe on the 22nd, November 22nd. Sagittarius birthday reading will go up. And then, lots of things. So in the month of November, I will do, Wait. In December, that's where it is. In December, I'll do your live for your birthday season. I'll be doing Scorpios next week. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio, there wasn't a lot of Scorpio energy here, but if you are, feel free to drop by that reading on the 9th just to eavesdrop and say hello. Because I will be doing readings specifically for Scorpios. But if you wanted to tag along and just sit there and listen and watch, perfect. But in December, midway through, you'll get your live as well with me. And also in December, I'm going to bring back the no communications readings. Those were pretty successful last month, so I'll do those. Maybe I'll do those like every other month. And so, yeah, a lot of stuff coming up to the channel. If you want to join me, make sure you're subscribed. And Sagittarius, I thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.